is Samira Lewis, and you are listening to Chatting in the City. This podcast is an initiative from the V-TRaC Lab, also known as Vulnerability, Trauma, Resilience, and Culture Laboratory at the University of Ottawa to explore mental health and Black communities. The podcast is part of a larger Beacon Hill project, which is funded by the Public Health Agency of Canada. Welcome, welcome. Future podcasters to another episode. Another month has passed by, but how is your mental health doing? My colleague Leslie and I are the social mobilizers at V-TRaC's lab, and we are wrapping up, as we wrapped up last month's podcast on Black excellence. It is evident that we live in a world where it is all about the hustling, the grinding, the 5 a.m. club. And today we would like to honor those faithful hustlers in the light of International Women's Day, which passed by earlier this month, March 8th. And I will let my colleague introduce our wonderful guest for today.
Awesome. Thank you, Samira, and thank you everyone for joining us. So we're going to start with our first two speakers, the twin sister MEDJINE and MENDJALY, who are the founder of Frizé Frizé, and they were inspired to create hair care products for the curly hair community based on natural ingredients sourced from all around the world that promotes hair growth and solve the issue of dry and brittle hair. Frizé Frizé is all about love, simplicity, and happiness. They are killing the game when it comes to natural hair and beauty. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for MEDJINE and MENDJALY.
Thank you. Thanks for having us, guys. Thank you.
And thanks for being here. And we're going to follow up with our second speaker, Junique. And she's the creator of, and the handcrafter, if I may say, of the natural and organic skincare brand, Enfematic. And Enfematic is dedicated to creating and providing natural and organic products that will keep your mind calm, your skin soft, and your body well. Junique has a passion for creating natural products as she believes that natural products are an extension of expressing oneself naturally and truthfully. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Junique Gooden.
Hello. Welcome everyone. I'm so glad to be talking and having a wonderful conversation with you guys. Before we dive into the first question, so Adam Hayes, a financial writer with 15 plus years of Wall Street experience, describes an entrepreneur as an individual who creates a new business, bearing most of the risk and enjoying most of the rewards. The process of setting up a business, which we all know is entrepreneurship, but the entrepreneur is commonly seen as an innovator, a source of new ideas, goods, services, and businesses and procedures, and much more. So my question for you would be, have you always wanted to be an entrepreneur?
So who goes first?
Any one of you, whoever.
If I open my mouth first. For me, I will not speak for MEDJINE, okay, but I never in a million years thought I would be where I am today, I have to say. Anyway, well, as let's say a teenager, what you're taught in school is to follow what is shown to you, which is being either you go look for a job, you go in the job market. So this is what was on my mind always. However, I always thought there must have been something bigger than what the 9 to 5. So here I am today. What is it for you?
For myself, I never thought that I would be here, but throughout my journey, I can say that growing up, I was always into beauty, skincare, whatever fashion, the fashion industry. And I always knew that I would get to that. I would take that path. But like MENDJALY said, you know, you're raised to go to school, go to university, get your job, have your family. That's it. Life is done. You know, you're good to go. And that's what we've done. And now we're like, okay, this, like you said, this cannot be it. You know, there must be something else to life that I can contribute to the world and give my gift, share my gift of, you know, wellness and beauty. And so here we are today.
Wow, absolutely. I totally agree. I think it's also like such a narrative now, and at least in 2022, that a lot of young women or young men are saying that, yeah, 9 to 5 is not it, and trying to have a lot more creative ideas and stuff like that. What about you, Junique?
For myself, I definitely didn't imagine myself where I was or where I am today. I guess like only because like I'm a bit of like, okay, like I don't like being in the foreground, but like, oh my God, like I started a business, so I have to be. So that's what was one of the things that shocked me the most, like having done the business. But I definitely am proud of the steps that it took me to get here, knowing that having be almost like a shy and introverted person wanted to take that step forward and like doing the things that I know that I love to do, because like I love like chemistry. I love the formulation of things and how it can get to a certain point. And I've always loved that process. And so being almost like that background character, working on that formulation, now doing this front ground character of like having to do like all the other things that requires me to do. I'm definitely, I definitely haven't seen myself like doing this at all, but I'm super happy with how everything has come along, especially in terms of my growth as well. So definitely.
Wow, that's awesome to hear. And as we all know, I mean, International Women's Day, which was celebrated, as Samira said, on March 8 this month, is a global day celebrating the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women. And the day also marks a call to action for accelerating women's equality, because we know that there are so many barriers that prevent women to access those leadership positions, even or those entrepreneurship positions. So we wanted to know, what are some of the barriers that you encounter during your entrepreneurship journey as a woman?
Well, for me as a woman, being a wife, mother, it's not easy because, you know, your family's around you. They want you to be a mother. You have to cater to your husband and to your kids. People are judging. You're spending so much time in your business, but it is what it is, right? You need to spend that time. So that's a challenge to have a family and have a business. So planning is one thing that we didn't do well when we jumped into that entrepreneurship journey. So when I say planning, I mean like planning, okay, I'm going to start now and I'm going to have this conversation with my family, my husband, the kids, because they'll notice that I'm not as present, you know. So you should have that conversation and plan, okay, I'm going to be in this for a good 5 years of nothing really, it's happening, but not really happening, you know. So you have to plan that. And I didn't plan it. I just jumped, you know, and lucky me, my husband is very, very, very supportive. So that goes in my favor, but most men are not going to be, or your family is not going to be that supportive of a business taking that long to pick up and for things to, I mean, you're busy and you're making things happen, but you do a lot of those things by yourself. And
because most of the time the man is the entrepreneur. And so the woman is always there to support the man. And that's okay because this is what we're meant to do, right? To support our kids, support the husband, but it can go the other way. It doesn't have to be all about the men. You have to make yourself, I think, believe that you are worth doing what you want to do for yourself. And if you don't feel like you have that opportunity, you have to take it. You just have to take it and say, I'm worth it. I can do this. And hopefully, if so her journey is a bit different. My husband supported me while I was at work. He's like, go baby, you're good. But once I left my job, it became a bit harder. And so I just had to be like, this is what it is. I have to do this for myself because I'm miserable where I am. So, and hopefully you follow along, and which he did. Luckily for me and our family, but it is what it is for women. This is our experience. Some people go through more hardship than that. I don't know what Junique experience is.
For myself, definitely like my experience was definitely more internal than external. And it was always thinking, how can I do this better? How can I do that better? I'm my biggest critique. And so the support was always there. I had support from like my partner and like my family members. Like my mom became like low key, like my Avon lady, like, like here's like sell products to like people she works with. And like my partner would like help me get to like markets and stuff like that. So like the support was always there, but it was myself like thinking, okay, like I'm like doing like everything, like shipping, marketing, etc. How can I better myself? And that was always the thing in the back of my head. So for me, it was more so like, not only does like my gender and then also my race play a role, as well as being neurodivergent, but also that it was more so like, how can I extend myself grace in the things that I do? And how can I not take the things that are in my head quite so literal, and understand that whatever like steps I'm taking throughout this, like my entrepreneurial journey, is just, it's okay. And that the feelings that I'm feeling during the time is okay, and trying to extend that grace onto myself. So that's kind of like how I've like been like going through it more so. Definitely.
Yeah, that is actually, we are hard on ourselves.
Always.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Whatever we do, it's like, it's never ending doubt. And be like, it's like you have to have that internal talk constantly. Yeah. And that's for everything we do, right? It's like, we're good. Even though people don't tell you, or even though people tell you, it's like, you have to believe it yourself, because it's talk from people. And if you don't believe it yourself,
it's not going to do much.
It's not going to do much.
There's also the fear of what other people think. So there's all kind of fear along the way.
The judgment
the judgment of people, you're judging yourself. Then you have the fear of putting yourself out there, because as a business owner, you have to put yourself out there. And we struggle with it for the longest time. We're like, people are like, you need to talk to people. You need to be out there. I'm like, no, I don't want to do Instagram. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And it's like, you have to. And it's weird because we don't even consider ourselves introvert, like you were saying, but to be out there on social media, I think it's the thought of thinking people are looking at me, but it's like, who cares at this point? Like, who cares? Yeah, you have to really, I mean, you're always going to care, but you have to really not give any, because or else you're always going to be stopped, and there's always that you're always going to have to jump to the next level because I mean, right now, so like, let's say the beginning, you're working on your product, you work, and then you have to put that product out there, and then you have those people telling you, it's good, go, and you're like, okay, are you sure? And I'm like, yes, go. So you put that product out there, okay, it's doing good. Now you get comfortable, and it's like,
Now
now
no
this is something else. You need to go out there and call those salons and say, you know, do you want my product? Maybe, you know, did they like it? Oh my God! And then now you're done with the salons. Now you need to go out to a store. Oh, that's another game, you know. So it's always that fear of going to the next level, and there will always be a fear of something. So that fear you have to conquer that fear all the time. It's like, it never stops. It's like really a hustle. It's
the other thing for Black women is, for us anyways, creating products for curly hair, which for us, what we created ranges from wavy to coily or hair texture. And whether it's Black people, I have to say, or white people, they want to put you in that box because they see that you're a Black woman, you have to cater to Black women. And it's true for sure, by far, Black women, we have to, how could I say this? We have a harder time with our hair and our self acceptance of our hair texture. It's deeper for us than it is for the other ethnicities. They have their own thing they're dealing with, but for us, it goes even deeper. But it doesn't mean that I cannot cater to the other ethnies. That's been something that's, at one point, we even thought maybe we should remove ourselves and only put other people and not show our face. And then we're like, no, we are it. Like, people will come. They will come. And then at one point, like, even coming out of our comfort zone, we had to like send products to like whoever, like, hello, do you want to try the products? And so please send us what it does for your hair. And that's the way we started to get our other ethnicities. So yeah, that's the other thing. Always being put in a box of only being able to cater to your own. And that's all good. I can do that, but I can do more.
Well, you guys mentioned so many good points, starting from Junique, adding like the fact that you feel a lot of like, whether like a lot of self-pressure or self-criticism on yourself, and you guys as well, like MEDJALY and MEDJINE, of how not only you do feel that there might be some pressure out there, whether from social media or other people, for example, putting you into a specific box, but especially as entrepreneurship, where there's always that constant, not constant pressure, but constant ongoing, where you have to take a lot of risks, you know, trying something new, or trying how this, and also being flexible enough to adapt to if there are any like failures and stuff like that. So with all that, how would you say that has affected your mental health, with the pressure that was put, the risk, and things that are not working right, things that are working, but just not for how you guys would expect it? How would you think that has affected your mental health?
Comment ça t'a affecté?
I'll let Junique.
I guess in terms of myself, only because like I live in my mind, and that it could be like my like biggest benefit or like my biggest like con. And so like I would say for myself, it has its peaks and it has its valleys. And it's been like, what I'm trying to now learn for myself is how to be comfortable within the valleys. And so for myself, that is not only trying to like, once again, extend myself some grace, but also remember, like, I'm only like, what, a year and a half? Like, I don't like expect too much of myself. So like, that's also another thing for myself. Like, okay, like, and then also looking at the things that I've been able to accomplish within my time as a business. That's also another thing that would also, I would try to like be a part of that grace within being comfortable within the valleys. So I would say like that's kind of like how it's almost like affected my mental health. Just trying to be that positive talk to myself when the high critic is trying to be in my mind. So definitely that's like how it goes on for me.
I would say, I think that the fact that for a little bit, like you're not paying yourself and feeling like you're not, you're feeling, for me, I feel like I'm not participating to the financially to my family. It's tough. It's like, it's hard, you know, like even as a mom, you're still like doing all the things that you need to do. And that is participating to your family's growth and everything else. But it's like, you have to still be that woman that gives financially, that participates to the family income.
Yeah, because you went from being an independent woman. I mean, you're still independent, but
for sure
you're now in a situation where you're relying on somebody else to. I don't want to say live, because I mean, if I have to do something else to get money, I will do that. But since I have the opportunity to only do this, then I have to embrace this, you know? So that's really hard. I can say that this creates a stress for me as a woman, to say that, you know, it's my husband that is supporting me. But I do everything that I'm supposed to do. It's not like I'm sitting back and relaxing. I'm doing my job. I'm working on my business. So yeah,
mental health also, in a sense that, you know, sometimes when you're down in the valley, you're like, everything needs to go down in the valley, or will go down the valley. Sometimes I'm like, I quit my mom job. I quit my wife job. I quit being a sister. I quit everything. I just want to quit everything. And so it takes a toll. And so, you know, like even being like this person that likes to take care of myself physically, I work out and everything. You just don't want to work out anymore. So you have to, again, talk to yourself and pick yourself up and do what needs to be done for yourself to be able to do for others. Because if you're not good mentally, everything goes down.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I really love all the points that were brought up right now, because it is true that it can really have an impact on our mental health. And it's important to take care of our mental health, because, as you know, there are still so many stigmas surrounding mental health, especially in Black communities. So thank you for sharing your experiences.
It's something that we don't talk a lot about. Now we're starting to be more, even like for other ethnies, it's not something that's really considered as being a sickness, you know, or but it's disturbing when the mental is not good.
Nothing works.
Nothing works.
And even when you're at your job, like you know, at the beginning we said that, you know, 9 to 5, there must be more to it, you know, and you work, you did your job and everything. But this is a next level of job. It's like, it's like nothing like I've ever done before, you know. It's like, it takes everything, like it takes over everything, because it's time consuming. It's not, you see, you're talking about mental health and your family, and it's like, this can attack your mental health because it's so much work. Because at the beginning you do everything on your own and you try to find resources, and it's not easy, you know. You try to find people to help you, they come and go, and it's like you have to spend that money for help, and you don't have that much money to spend on help, but it has to be done. So your mental health takes a hit.
Fatigue as well.
Yeah, you get tired. Yes, you get really tired being an entrepreneur, because it's always on your mind. Even when you sleep, you wake up, you're like, what's the next thing? Oh my gosh.
That's such a good point. That's such a good point. I tend to be a little like, I call myself a little hamster sometimes, because the wheel can continue to like go. But how would you have like how would you at least, like, I don't know, encourage a few women to have a proper balance, that you don't end up in the extreme of having, you know, extreme fatigue or a burnout, or even having this I don't know, some like, you know, like consequences and stuff like that. But also because you are an entrepreneurial, you have an entrepreneurial mindset, you know that you always have to constantly, you know, refine the idea and constantly, you know, better and stuff like that. So where does the work-life balance, mental balance come in, where the hamster doesn't have to constantly like go all the time?
For us, you want to go?
Oh no, you.
There's so many things that can be said, though. I don't know if it's actually possible. It's
to stop that will.
I think it's being in consciousness of realizing that you are in that state of mind, and you have to be consciously letting go of some things as much as it is possible. But I think it's always on your mind.
Yeah, it's always on your mind. And the further you go in that business, the more it takes space.
Yes, until you start delegating the jobs, the different things that you have to do in that business. But I think it's living day to day and being conscious that today this is taking a lot. Mm-hmm. I have to take a moment. And today I'm not looking at my emails. Today I'm consciously spending the time with my family without looking at my phone or whatever. Or give yourself that part of that morning where you look at your phone and then you say, that's it. You know, the rest will be done tomorrow. What else?
I would say, so have a routine for yourself. So in the morning,
we still struggle with this.
But you do it. I in the morning, I wake up at 5.
Yes, we're good.
I work out. Make sure that, and this I'm working on, you do your journaling. So you say what you're thankful for, you can write a little bit of what didn't work, but don't dwell on it, because that always takes over everything else, because we're always in the negative, and the negative is always attacking you. So I would say, write it down, write what you want to see happen, visualize what you want to see happen. You're going into that office,
meditate,
grand and everything, because it will come,
Sometimes we come down and we start talking to our employees that we don't yet have, but we're still talking to them. We do. And our parents think we're crazy, but that's okay. You just
we do talk to our future employees. So visualize. Journaling is important, and be patient. That's like
nobody got there the first year. If they did, it was, I don't know, maybe they were there at the right time, but it takes time. It just takes time, and you have to be patient. A lot of people worked on what they were working on since they're like children. And for us, like, we're like starting this later in our lives. Yeah. And you have to also be okay that you're not, you don't have what the others have in their lives today. And it feels like you went backwards, but going backwards is sometimes taking 10 steps forwards to get to where you need to go, It's okay to go back if you want to call it going back, but are you ever going back? Because what you do every day, what you do is experience that gives you more to be able to tackle what's coming, right? So maybe I'm changing subject.
No, that was lovely put. Like, for myself, like, visualizing really helps. Like, trying to but also visualizing in steps. Okay, like, just do this part first before like you move like 10 steps ahead, and now like you're on a whole other like journey, and now like you're confused because now the original journey will look like the journey you think about that's gonna like be the end. Like, definitely visualizing, also mapping out what I'm gonna do on certain days, because I also do have a flexible part-time full-time job. So also having to like work with that as well in terms of business, definitely trying to be on a schedule, even though the schedule doesn't fit the schedule. So I would definitely say in terms of having that work-life balance, those are kind of the things that have worked for me.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I love how we talk about the process, because it's true that sometimes we think about the destination and like where we want to be, but you have to enjoy the process. And yeah, before we wrap up the today's podcast, we wanted to know if you had any words of encouragement you would like to say to your other young women who are maybe thinking of embarking in this entrepreneurship journey.
So like what I would say is, whatever you believe in, you dream big and go for it. Anything is possible. Don't let anybody tell you that you cannot do something. You can do whatever you put your mind into. That's what I would say. Plan, or plan, but don't plan too much, because otherwise you just don't move with it. You just stay stuck in the planning phase. Know that it's always a hustle. But Junique said, it's okay to be, I don't know if that's exactly what she said, but she talked about the peak and the valleys, and you will get that, but it's okay. You know, just when you think it's going really down, something else will come up for you and will help you to be like, okay, we're on the right path. And it's okay to have those ups and downs. That's what business is all about. Life is all about, you know. Yeah. And, you know, for me, I'm happy I didn't know all the ups and downs, because I probably wouldn't have gone through it. And be ready to give. Be ready to give. I think that's something that I'm telling myself, to give more information, more, not necessarily give your products away, but give the information that you have, so people can be aware. And the more you give, the more you receive. Yeah, and meditate a lot. Just
I guess for myself, I would say, like, if and when you do create your business, whatever you are feeling in that moment is valid. Like, you will have many feelings within your peaks and your valleys, and know that, just remember to give yourself grace. And I think, just like as humans, like in general, we can sometimes be a little bit too hard on ourselves, and are the expectations that we have for ourselves, or we believe that others have for us. So I would definitely just say, like, be compassionate with yourself. Like, you're good. You're going to be all right. Like, you got it. And if you ever need any like help with resources, there are many resources within your community that are there to help you. Your community is there to build you. So you're going to be okay. Like, that's like, just like me, as something that I wish I had somebody to tell me, like, you're going to be okay. Like,
yeah. Absolutely. And wow, so compassion and trusting ourselves. I think it's
I want to say something else before it comes and goes out of my mind. Do not, or I don't know if I want to talk in the negative, but look at other people to inspire you, not to be like them. Because we're always looking at other people and like, she's doing this like that, maybe I should do it like that. And this gives you a lot of self-doubt. You know, you are who you are. You got into this to do it in your way for your people, and trust that you will have your own people that will follow you. And if that person goes, she may come back or not come back, but I mean, people will always come. Just be inspired by others, but do not compare yourself to others. I think that's, it's important.
Mhm. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for listening to today's podcast episode. We will put the information about all those lovely businesses in our description and our social media platforms. We also wanted to thank you, our honorable guests today, so MEDJINE and MENDJALY, as well as Junique, for taking the time to share their own personal experience with us. Thank you so much. And
It was our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, everyone. Please go check out all the information that we'll be putting in the description of the podcast, or as well as on YouTube as well. You will not regret it. I can say that. And yes, thank you, and take care, everyone.